Hey guys, Arjvantes here, and this is my walkthrough of Vel'Kar Hard. Because Vel'Kar Hard is more or less the same as Vel'Kar Normal, just much faster, I will not be doing a separate video for the normal difficulty. Instead, you can use the same build I use here, and it will utterly destroy normal. Alright, so let's jump in. Vel'Kar starts with only 3 units on his side of the board, but that's okay because all 3 of his units produce things, so let's just look at them one by one. Vel'Kar is just a 10 health unit that produces a shard a turn. And shards by themselves do nothing, but if he has 6 shards, he will sacrifice them all and construct an Eviscerator. An Eviscerator is just a unit with 3 attack and 6 health, so it's a huge pain to deal with. Generally, if you can help it, you want to be killing his shards and keeping them under control, so he can't get up to 6 shards. On his left, Vel'Kar has Indostructor. Indostructor is his defensive constructor unit, and it can build a barrier, tough barrier, or barrier forge every turn. So barrier is just a 1 HP defender, tough barrier is the same as a wall 3 HP defender, and barrier forge is just another constructor that builds barriers and tough barriers, but it can't build more barrier forges. On Vel'Kar's right side, we have Exostructor, which is kind of like the opposite of Indostructor. This is the attack unit constructor. Indostructor builds gunbots, tough gunbots, and gunbot forges. Gunbot is just like a Tarsier, it's a 1 HP, 1 attack unit. Tough gunbot is like a steel splitter that can't block. It's a 3 HP, 1 attack unit. And gunbot forge is again a constructor that builds gunbots and tough gunbots. So because Exo and Indostructor both produce forges, which then in turn produce more units, Vel'Kar will rapidly ramp up his own unit production until it becomes unmanageable. So our strategy going in is going to be hyper aggression. We want to breach early and breach often, and keep his forge count under control. There are many builds that work against Vel'Kar, but I'm just going to demonstrate the most straightforward one. And the game plan is simple. I go for a hyper aggressive turn 1 Animus. I'm not going to buy any drones. I'm going to try to ramp up to 7 Tarsiers. And just buy Rhinos whenever I need to for defense. Once I get 7 Tarsiers, I'm going to then transition into buying a Rhino and Engineer every single turn. And that will actually be sufficient damage to beat the mission. So I bought a Rhino here because my opponent had a Gunbot. On this turn, I attack with the Rhino to kill his weak barrier, and then just buy another Rhino, as well as a Tarsier. Opponent kills an Engineer, but I'm going to be able to breach for 1, kill a Gunbot, and then defend nicely with a Rhino on this turn. So again, I'm just buying Rhino whenever I need to, and the goal is to get up to 7 Tarsiers, which seems to be like a magic number for this specific mission. I'm just going to kill the 2 Gunbot here, and then, of course, the remaining damage, I guess, just on the shard. And then just going to buy 2 Tarsiers. This allows me to defend comfortably on the Rhino. And just going to rush up to the 7 Tarsier number as fast as possible. I breached for 0 this turn, but that's okay because my Rhinos are enough to defend. And I have my 7 Tarsiers. So now I'm just going to buy Rhino Engineer every turn, which my economy can support exactly. And I breach for 4, so I need to kill the shard here because he has 6 shards, which is enough for Eviscerator. And with the remaining 3, I'm actually going to kill a Barrier Forge because I can defend his 4 damage very comfortably. From this point on, I'm just going to try to kill his construction structures as much as possible, and then only kill his attack when I need to. On this turn, I will kill all of his Gunbots because otherwise I will have a tough time defending. But from here, we'll begin to see a pattern emerge. I'm going to keep my opponent on exactly 4 damage, which I can defend very comfortably every turn by losing an Engineer and a Rhino. Because I'm replacing the Rhino and Engineer every single turn, I will perpetually be able to defend his 4 damage. And with my remaining attack, I'm just going to use it to kill his constructors. And from this point, the game is pretty much locked. I will just be buying and attacking with Rhinos every single turn, and then killing whatever constructor I can. and Vel'Kar will eventually run out of steam because I killed all his constructors. So just gonna speed things up a little bit. Again, keeping him on 4. Can kill a Gunbot Forge and a Barrier Forge here. And just for the hell of it, I think I'm actually going to show an Eviscerator. Just so you get to see. It's a cool looking unit. So obviously, normally I would have killed the Shard there, but at this point the game's already won, so I just wanted to show what Eviscerator looks like. I'm gonna promptly kill it, of course. Rip Eviscerator. But yeah, it's just a 3 health, or rather 6 health, 3 attack unit. And I can defend 5 damage because I had an extra engineer from earlier. But yeah, here we go. Just killing all the things I can. Actually going to buy a Tarsier here, kill the Indostructor, Shard, Gunlot. And the reason I bought the Tarsier is eventually I need to do up to 10 damage to kill Vel'Kar, and 2 Rhinos and Tarsier only make 9 damage. So that's just something I had to do. On this turn I get to kill Vel'Kar. And yeah, that is the mission. So pretty straightforward strategy. Vel'Kar is one of those things where it's just basically a damage race. So if you can get his damage under control by breaching early and breaching often, then it actually becomes fairly straightforward. Alright, so that is the end of my tutorial series. If you want to see the Impending Doom mission, then Lunark Studios actually has an excellent tutorial on that already on their YouTube channel, so I would just link that in the description of this video below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the series. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me on YouTube, on Reddit, in-game, whatever. And I'll see you guys next week for a regularly scheduled Prismata game analysis.